In this session, this is going to be a fun one. I want to talk to you guys about when it is all fun and games. When things are looking great, when things are going great. You know, in business, there are seasons. There are seasons of greatness, and then there are seasons of, you know, it's kind of like summer, winter, spring, and fall. You know, for me, I see business as the same thing. You know, when things are all fun and games, have a blast with it. You know, I want to encourage you that when things are fun and games, take your staff out to lunch. Take your staff out to just have a blast, you know, because you need to reward the people that are rewarding you. Reward your staff for doing phenomenal. Reward your employees for doing great. When it is all fun and games, you know, take them to the lake. Take them wherever. Do whatever it takes to have fun with your staff when they're doing phenomenal. Don't just let it pass that, you know what, it's going great, so we need to keep grinding. Yeah, you do. When things are going great, you need to keep after it. But you also need to reward the people that are then helping you get there, because they're the ones that are going to help you sustain it. Whenever things slow down, they're going to be the ones that help you understand and see the things that need to be addressed or changed or adjusted, so that you can then begin to continue that path of growth, continue tracking that path of growth. You know, there's another thing to do whenever things are going phenomenal. You've got to understand and know that it's not going to last forever. So as things are going great and finances are flowing and sales are popping and things like that are happening, make sure that you're taking money and taking your resources and saving some. Because if you're not saving money during those times, you're probably going to have a super hard time when the flow goes back down a little bit. So when things are going great, have fun, do great things, buy new equipment, buy things that need to be done, but also know that you've got to save time, you've got to save money, because it's not always going to be super, super high. Everything's not going to always be booming. Everything's not going to always be the best. But there's going to be a lot of times that it is. Because for us as godly entrepreneurs, we have a guide on the inside. We have an inside track to know that, you know what, we need to go here and we need to go there. There could be one phone call that then begins to make your next 3 to 5 to 10 years phenomenal. You know, I want to tell you guys about when I was on a high. I got a phone call. When I was on a high in business, I got a phone call from a guy, and I really didn't want to do the job for him. They called me and they said, "Andy, we've got this theater that needs some work done. Would you mind going to take a look at it?" And I said, I'm really not that interested. I said, I've done work for out-of-town companies before, and the company was based out of town. They weren't based in Tulsa, where I'm based out of. And they said, can you come and can you do this job? And I was like, I'm really not that interested because I've worked for out-of-town companies before, and they just didn't pay or took 60 to 90 days to pay, and that just wasn't something I was really interested in. I typically like to get payment when I'm completed with the job and things like that. So with this guy, I was just like, okay, I was like, okay, I'll go do it, So I went and did it, and we were on a high at that time, but this one call has produced some incredible profits because I went and did one project. I went and I think I had to help weld a little door back on for a movie theater here in town. And, from that point on, I've now become their regional, or our company, we've become their regional maintenance within a 300-mile radius of Tulsa. So we'll travel within 300 miles to do work and repair on these theaters. And I was believing God that we would have small jobs with high profits come in for the advancement of the kingdom of God and the prosperity of our family. So this job came in when we were on a high. Well, guess what that did? Instead of things looking and dipping down a little bit, they tended to stay the same because this company, their work is more stable and more steady. So if it's a holiday or during the winter or whatever, their jobs still come in. So for us, we will be able to create a new baseline because we've had people and we've had clients come in when things were going well that helped us sustain things. So when things are going well, see if you can step back and look on how can I create a new baseline? How can I create a new norm? How can I create a new zero? You know, I always like to tell people that when you're doing well, see if you can push that up to so that your fall isn't as great. You know, for us, this one client was able to help us do that. And that one client has been incredible profit with so many small jobs. You know, I want to encourage you that when things are going well, find the clients you love, find the clients you don't. Begin to confess over your life. Begin to confess over your business about the clients that you want. Begin to confess about the types of jobs that you want and about the clients that you want. You know, for me, I don't like needy clients. I don't want needy clients because needy clients take more of my time that I could be giving to others. So as you're on a high and as you're going up, know and understand that you've got to begin to create a new baseline. You know, find out systems and processes that can create a new baseline for you, because if you don't, you're going to fall back to the place where your old baseline was. You know, for Jesse and I, as things are going well, we save money, and in our bank account, we're creating a new baseline. We're creating a new zero and that zero is not zero anymore. That zero isn't $16 in the bank, but that zero is now much higher than that. So I want to encourage you that as things are going well and as you're rising, create a new baseline. When things are going well, reward yourself. You know, there's nothing worse than seeing someone that never rewards themselves for doing things that are incredible. You know, I always remembered when my wife and I were on this diet. We were doing this thing to lose weight and to gain muscle and on and on and on. Well, you know, once a week, our trainer said, you know what, you've got to reward yourself for doing the process. If you don't reward yourself at least once a week, it's going to get dull, it's going to get dry, it's going to become a dread. As things are going well, don't overextend your resources. You know, like I was saying, create a new baseline, begin to save, begin to do things that allow you to be able to create a new baseline, but also reward yourself. Reward yourself for doing great. Reward yourself for being phenomenal. Reward yourself for making that rise. So go on vacations, take time with your family. That way, when you come back, you're rejuvenated, you're ready to go, and you're going to be able to come back with more encouragement, with more enthusiasm, with more thrust. Don't let just the work and the grind of everything grind you down so much that you don't enjoy life. Enjoying life is valuable, and enjoying what you do is valuable. So take that time that things are going great and it is all fun and games. Take that time to have fun. Take that time to go on vacation. Take that time, you know, for me to create a new baseline is fun to me. For me to go on a vacation with my wife, I enjoy it, but my wife loves it. So for me, when she's happy, I'm happy. I go on vacations with her because that's what she wants to do, you know? And look, I enjoy it as well. Don't get me wrong. But for me, that's not the most fun. For me, creating a new baseline, for me, I like to go hunting. So I go hunting to go have fun. You know, people say I'm crazy. I go sit in a deer stand or whatever hunting season it is. And for me, that's fun. I'm able to get away, rejuvenate, and I come back more alive, more energetic, with more clarity of vision. You know, there are some times that we go through life and things are going well and things are going great, and then at some of those times a rainstorm may come. And you know what? If you don't use your windshield wipers in a rainstorm, you're never going to be able to see further or past where you are right now. So just know that when things are going great and you're having fun, there are times you may have to use your windshield wipers. And I use those times as vacation. I use those times as going deer hunting, having fun. You know, I go through and I say, you know what? I'm going to wipe away my everyday life, my everyday work, my everyday grind, and I'm just going to separate myself and have fun. And when I use those windshield wipers and I go do that, I come back more refreshed and I come back ready to go. So I want to encourage you, just do that. Reward yourself for doing great at times. Don't just get stuck in the grind. When things are going great, this should be a time that you're setting new vision. This should be time that you're creating more, you're adding to your as-builts. You know, you're creating and you're adding more to your vision and to your plan. Because when things are going great, you have more resources, you have more abilities, and you have more assets to be able to add and to expand. So on your blueprints and on your plans, step back and go, you know what? How can we grow? How can we make our vision clearer? How can we run our race better? You know, I look back and I see people with vision, and vision is to be ran with. Vision is something that we should show others to run with. So when things are going great, make sure that we're still casting vision. Make sure that you're still showing people that there is more. Make sure that you show people that, you know what, we've come up to this point and now it's time to go even higher. You know, we've stretched our band so far and that's great, but it can stretch even bigger. So as we're doing great, we've got to create those new baselines so that we're jumping off from a different point than we were last year or last month or last week. You know, we've got to continue to grow and set new vision for today, tomorrow, and next year, the next 5 years. You know, when we continue to set that vision and set those goals, we're giving people and we're giving ourselves something that's attainable so that we can see that it can be fun. It can be enjoyable. This is so much fun to reach goals and to meet milestones and to create a life that most and some other people never would even dream about creating. You know, when things are riding high, are an inspiration to others to let them know and understand that they can do it as well. You can inspire your employees to be better than themselves. You can inspire your employees and the people around you and your peers to continue to strive for greatness because you're doing it and you're creating it. So as you're on this high, make sure to continue to ride high. Ride high, create a new baseline, and jump off from a new point next week. Until next session.